Fox 61 News at 6 starts now.
Now at 6, a local high school placed under lockdown tonight. How parents are responding.
Plus, a man shot and killed during an attempted robbery. The search now on for the suspect.
And a tight race for the 5th Congressional District. The numbers close between Congresswoman Jahana Hayes and Republican challenger George Logan. What this means for a potential recount.
Plus, a win for state Democrats.
Connecticut gets it right. We had a good election, a fair election. Now we all come together. We work together as one.
I'm going to be putting Connecticut first.
How they're responding to their victories tonight and what this means moving forward.
And races make history across the nation.
You made me the first woman ever elected to be the governor of the state of New York.
Where Congress stands as the GOP fights to retake control. The Fox 61 News at 6 starts now.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us here in the news at 6. I'm Ben Goldman.
And I'm Jen Bernstein. Right now, the balance of power in the U.S. Congress is still up in the air. And one of those races that could tip the scale is the 5th House District. We want to take a look at the latest numbers right now. Do we have that full screen for us? We may be coming back to it. Let's start with the governor's race.
Fox 61's political reporter Emma Warforce has been following this race. She joins us live in Waterbury right now with the very latest on the 5th Congressional District race. Emma?
Good evening, Ben, Jen from Waterbury. That's right. We're talking about the 5th Congressional District here. The Secretary of the State's office right now is reporting 100% of precincts turned in, but those votes are still being counted tonight. And at last check, incumbent Democrat Representative Jahana Hayes was holding a small lead over Republican challenger George Logan of fewer than 2,000 votes. Now, that's about a 0.7% margin, and with that close of a race, we could see a possible recount coming up.
We could very well be recounting this.
In Connecticut, an automatic recount is triggered in elections in the case of a close vote, tie vote, or discrepancy. A close vote is when the difference between the top two candidates is fewer than 20 votes or less than 0.5% of total votes cast.
We're going to have a final answer in a day or so, maybe sooner, maybe in an hour or so. But we just need to be patient and realize that we want to get this right.
State election officials have 48 hours from poll close at 8 p.m. Tuesday to report final results. And if an automatic recount is triggered, it has to take place before the 5th business day after the election. Since elections take place on a Tuesday, this would be by Tuesday of the following week. By Wednesday evening, no victor announced in Connecticut's 5th district, but both the candidates feeling confident Tuesday night.
It's not going to be by a landslide, I told you, right? It's going to be by the shortest of margins. We are looking good.
I'll wait patiently for however long it takes to count every single vote. But I will say I'm feeling a certain type of way right now.
If it happens, this wouldn't be the first recount in a Connecticut House race. In 2006, current 2nd District U.S. House Rep Joe Courtney won after a recount in his race with then-incumbent Representative Rob Simmons. Courtney won by just 91 votes. And just a few minutes ago, we actually received a message from the Secretary of the State's office. They told us they're still waiting on a couple of towns to input all of those results into the system. They said they still have a day to do that, and they'll wait for all that information to be updated before they announce if a recount is necessary. We'll be closely following this race for you. For now, live in Waterbury, Emma Wolforst, Fox 61 News.
Certainly is close, Emma. Thank you very much. And there's a lot we're following from the big board as well tonight.
Fox 61's Keith McGilvery is back with us. We're digging into the numbers in the close race for the 5th District and the rematch in the race for governor. Keith, we want to bring you in right now. Let's talk about the difference between 2018 with the governor's race and now, because it was really close in 2018 and not so much this time around.
Yeah, so let's switch on over. Start with the governor's race here. Yes, so if you take a look at the board here, the difference last night between our two candidates, 158,000 votes and some 12 percentage points here. And if we kind of rewind back to 2018, that was significantly smaller. The differential between Lamont and Stefanowski at that point standing at about 44,000 votes. So what a difference just a couple of years can make as that rematch got underway here in Connecticut. Lamont handily beating Stefanowski by more than 100,000 votes additionally to what we saw just a couple of years ago. So while it was 4 percentage points back in 2018, a much wider spread between the two same candidates this go around.
Cities played a big difference last time as well. Keith, can you talk about the 5th district? Let's get back to that. Why has the race not been called?
All right, so we had a question in our 5:30 half hour wanting to know what the precincts reporting totals were. Let's take this full screen if we can, because if you're watching at home, you're saying up here in the right-hand corner, 100% of precincts are reporting. So you're saying, hey, Keith, Jen, how come we don't know this as we see an 1,800 vote differential between the two of these candidates? Within the last 15 minutes or so, I got on the phone, spoke with a political scientist at UConn, one at the University of New Haven as well, and both are in agreement here that one of the factors in all of this may be absentee ballots and really working to make sure that those are accounted for correctly. Wes Renfro joined us live on the air all night last night. I've been texting with him, and he said, Keith, you know, they may just be double and triple checking all of this. The balance of power in the House certainly at stake here. So people do not want to make mistakes on a big night like this with Democrats right now 183 seats, Republicans 207. It is the race to 218 in every district, including this 5th district race will count. So we'll keep an eye on it for you throughout the night. Jen?
All right, Keith, thank you. Well, Connecticut residents woke up this morning to a bluer state than the day before. Connecticut Democrats held strong in their power in Congress and even made some gains in the state capitol as well. Fox 61's Matt Karen joining us live in Hartford to tell us what Democrats say they plan to do with that power. Matt.
Well, listen, we all know campaign season is full of promises. Inevitably, some of those promises get broken. But Democrats say their plan is really quite simple: to continue on the progress they say they've made. After the hugs and thank yous came the questions of how Democrats plan to use their increased political power.
I don't want more taxes, but I don't mind more taxpayers. And I hope everybody got my message on that. And when I say more taxpayers, that means growth and opportunity.
Governor Lamont elected to another 4 years.
I got a call this morning from Bob Stefanowski congratulating us.
Fox 61 learned that in that phone call, Republican Bob Stefanowski urged Lamont to reconsider the controversial police accountability bill signed into law in the wake of the George Floyd tragedy, which some say ties the hands of law enforcement to do their jobs effectively.
Look, I'm happy to talk to the legislature about any ways we can fine-tune this, but I think we don't want to demagogue this bill.
Governor Lamont also suggested he wouldn't wait until a new legislative session in February to get to work. He's considering calling the General Assembly into special session to provide residents with extended relief before the state gas tax holiday expires at the end of the month.
We're going to model this out, and if gas goes up 25 cents, so what does that mean we can do in terms of a gas tax cut? If it goes down, what do we need to do to make sure I have enough money to fix our roads and bridges?
Election night saw Attorney General Tong and Senator Blumenthal reelected.
Thank you to Connecticut.
While new Democratic faces were elected to the offices of Secretary of the State, Comptroller, and Treasurer.
Making sure that we are meeting our obligations to state and municipal employees.
Both chambers of the state legislature remain under a Democratic majority.
The bottom line is, I think the people sent us the message that they want bipartisanship.
And Democrats also told me that they understand that the issue that's most on the mind of voters remains the economy, saying that they'll continue to work to control inflation, to rein in spending, and to produce balanced budgets without raising taxes. We're live here outside the state capitol in Hartford. Matt Karen, Fox 61 News.
Thank you, Matt. For the latest election results, visit fox61.com. You can also download the free Fox 61 News app for the latest numbers as well.
Well, we are on the weather watch right now. A nice day out there today, but we do have some rain heading our way before the weekend.
For more on that, let's go to Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank. Hi, Rachel.
Hi, guys. Rain and gusty winds headed this way, especially Friday night into early Saturday morning. And this is going to be from the remnants of what is now Hurricane Nicole. This is the newest update that has just come in from the National Hurricane Center. Previously, Nicole was a tropical storm, but as of 6 o'clock, that has changed. Winds of 75 miles per hour, and the storm is expected to make landfall on the east coast of Florida near Fort Pierce heading into later tonight after midnight. And eventually we'll get some rain and some wind, although we are not getting a direct hit from a tropical storm. The impact should be far less here close to home. Temperatures are in the mid to upper 40s right now, low 40s for both Waterbury and for Meriden. And heading through the evening, while it is chilly, it won't be as cold as it was when you woke up this morning. Overnight lows dipping back into the mid to upper 30s. And tomorrow is a Butte, lots of sunshine and warmer than today. Not as warm as it was earlier this week, though. Highs climbing into the mid 60s as we head through the afternoon. And for Friday, we could get close to 70 because as that rain and wind move in, so will a surge of warmth and even a little bit of humidity. I think it's going to be kind of weird around here for Friday night. We'll walk you through it. Full forecast coming up.
Thank you, Rachel. We're following some breaking news tonight. A 61-year-old man shot and killed in New Haven last night during what police believe was an attempted robbery.
Yeah, now police are trying to find the suspect. Fox 61's Gabby Molina is live in New Haven right now with the details for us. Gabby.
Jen and Ben, that shooting happened at around 9 o'clock last night in the parking lot of the GI package store on Ferry Street here in New Haven. Police now trying to find the suspect, and they're hoping that you can help. They released some surveillance photos of who they believe the suspect is, hoping that someone will recognize him. Police say that the victim is 61-year-old Mark Papakota of New Haven. Police say that when they arrived, they found him lying on the ground outside. He was taken to the hospital, but later died. Surveillance video that Fox 61 obtained from a nearby business shows the moments that emergency responders arrived to the scene. Police say they also looked at some surveillance video, which gave them some clues as to what led up to that shooting.
In the video, it appears as if the suspect is attempting to rob Mr. Papakota before shooting him. The Bureau of Identification responded and processed the scene, and detectives from the Major Crimes Unit are leading the investigation.
This year, that is down from this time last year when there were 24 homicides. Now, New Haven police are asking that if you think you recognize the suspect in those photos, if you have any information on this shooting, please give New Haven police a call. Live in New Haven, Gabby Molina, Fox 61 News.
Gabby, thank you.